Welcome everybody. This is Pastor Allen Perdue with Growing Gainesville. So grateful for you. With us today is Nate Bearfield. Nate is with Firearms training, and he is here in our community. He knows our community really well. Nate, I just want to welcome and say thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Well, I appreciate the invitation, so thank you so much. Hi everybody, how you guys doing out there?
So Nate, tell us a little bit about why you started Firearms training, and tell us just a little bit about where it all began.
It began a few years ago when I was actually in seminary. And funny enough, I was just having a conversation with the guy who kind of sparked the question and the idea and concept. Just like many of us do, right? You start belly aching about life, and I want a new job, or I need a new thing, right? And he, I think, had enough of my belly aching and just asked the question. He's like, "Look, man, why don't you do what you love to do?" I said, "Well, what do I love to do?" He said, "Well, you love to shoot and you love to teach." I said, "So you're telling me I should teach shooting?" He said, "Yeah." And without hesitation, like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, right? and so I'm eating my words, right? So
yeah.
So don't speak, think first. That's what we're supposed to do, right? I needed that next thing, and so I went shooting, and I loved it. And so blend that with a heart for people, and I saw a need or saw an opportunity in ministry and in shooting to kind of blend the two. Right? So I don't look at it as just going and shooting guns. I look at it as a way to connect. Our mission is you. And we dare not deviate from that.
So tell us some of the services that you're specifically providing and that you're focusing on when people come to your website. What are some of the things they can expect that you provide?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of what we provide is going to be private training, right? So smaller class sizes. We reduced our class sizes down to 10. That allows me to really focus in on individual trainings with people. So you'll get that. You'll get a personalized attention. There is that one-on-one connection that takes place because I can focus and I can ask questions. It's not just yes or no. It's open-ended questions because my goal is to get to know you. When I get to know you, then I can help you accomplish your mission and your goal, right? So that's how we have been able to maintain our relationships in the around the area.
Sure. So in your training, you begin with the basic things, I'm sure, of like cleaning a gun, how to handle a gun, all of these types of things in the beginning.
In the beginning, yep.
And then that leads to actual firearms training and 100%. Shooting on target.
So one of the unique things that we offer is we offer both the classroom space and the range time itself.
Great.
So you'll see a lot of perhaps other competitors, if you want to call them that, but other instructors in the area, right, that are out there. Some will offer only just the classroom space because the state of Virginia only requires that you do a safety class. Sorry to burst your bubble. You can do a safety class and then get your concealed carry, but that's as egregious as handing a 16-year-old a license to drive a car without any training whatsoever. Not only do they get that, I teach the legal side of firearms as well too. So you'll get, all of this is factual based, data based, and you can research it too. I would suggest you not just take my word for it, look it up. But under the Virginia codes and statutes, under the 18 point dot blah 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 blah, right? I teach classes on law-abiding citizens and how to make decisions, smart decisions now, to avoid those ridiculous costs that come before you even hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, flying with firearms and so on and so forth. I've done classes about that, how you can do that. So there is the basic, right, classroom portion. Then the range portion. We'll go out to a range that I use several of them. The basic handgun skills. We have a new system that is our new shooter system that we're just launching. It's our Firearms training shooter training packages. You get 3 tiers. First tier is just like you're describing. The cleaning of the firearms, the reacclimation of everything. Tier 2 would be more of concealed carry, right? Holsters, draws, understanding what to buy, okay? Having those conversations, and then drawing. And then Tier 3 being a little bit more advanced would be for those students that have already shot, but now have to be on a timer and pars, so that now you say, I want to be able to do the thing. I'm going to defend my house and home. I'm going to defend you, dear. Stand behind me. All right, now it's time to do the thing. Can you do the thing? Because the statistics say that it has to be done under this time, under this, and that's what you get, is you get measured on something. If it's not measurable, then it's just an idea.
for me personally, I think being a citizen and being a good citizen is being not just aware of your rights, but understanding that if you're going to have these rights, to obviously be responsible citizens. And so it's really awesome to hear you say that. So as a man of God, and as someone who loves Jesus, tell me a little bit about how you would take what you do and tell me about the biblical principles kind of around what you do and how your walk with God, informs the type of business leader you are in the community as well.
I start with loving God first, and then loving others.
Yeah.
I heard a friend of mine who lives in Washington State who's a pastor as well, and I'd not really met a pastor who was a firearms instructor, and he's well known on the West Coast.
Okay.
And his name's Sam, and Sam said something I thought was so brilliant. He said that love protects.
That's good.
And I'm like,
That's good.
I need more of that. Like, what does that mean, love protects? And I've had since that time, this is a couple of years ago, since that time, I've had people ask, what does that mean to you? How do you balance faith and firearms? How do you balance what you do as a business owner and a person in the community? That's up to Jesus. Jesus only judges perfectly. But if you look through Scripture, love has been what has protected from the very beginning. A desire to push evil away, to stand up, and to protect. The commandment that follows with that is to love my neighbor. That's to love myself as well too, right? I'm gonna who's my neighbor? Everybody that you see. Everybody that you see.
Absolutely.
So I don't push people away when they want to come train. Yeah. When they ask for help, because people want to be seen. Just like Jesus saw me in my hurt and then made a move towards me and then did something for me, I want to do the same for people that don't know him. To love God and to love others, which is our church motto, I take that principle to heart. I think that's probably the sole one that I run with, man. And that has not ever steered me wrong.
Yeah.
It's in the manifest, right? Like, you guys are our mission.
We're just a few weeks outside of the Charlie Kirk assassination and things that are going on around us politically, around the topics of firearms, and people, of course, on both sides of that grumbling and fighting at different angles. Have you found more interest? Have you received more calls of people wanting to get some training and getting some knowledge and wisdom about this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I have. And such as everything else. Anytime you see any kind of inflation from the political side of anything, and I'm not here to talk politics, but it's a reality, right?
Yeah.
We live so close to Washington, D.C. Anytime something happens on the Hill, it happens everywhere else. It just happens closer to us because we're closer in proximity. Yeah. I have seen an increase of desire to not fear.
Yeah.
Most people come because they just don't want to be afraid anymore. Yeah. Not that something's going to happen, that they just don't want to be afraid. Yeah. You ever hear the phrase, I'm sure you've said, sick and tired of just being sick and tired? Yeah. I get a lot of people who are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, so they come and they learn something and they absolutely crush it because they've been told they can't do something, but I know better than that, and I know them because I get to spend time with them. Yeah.
And I think some people get this I don't know, this picture in their mind that, when we take a class or we get a permit to carry, or we do carry, or we own firearms, that we want to go around shooting people, or that's kind of that's completely the opposite. It's like you said, people that just want to be safe. They want to be able to provide protection to people, and the last thing they want to do is use their firearm in a real setting. Like, sure, there are people that shoot for fun and go out and target shoot all the time, but the use of it in protection, it's really the last thing that we want to do. But when it comes to the last thing, we want to be able to do it competently, and we want to be able to do it to protect people.
You raise a great point. That's one of the unique things about our company. I train backwards, right? So you get the psychology side of it as well too. So I do a deep dive in that as well. So being able to understand, can I do the thing mentally, emotionally, spiritually? So what we try to do is get you in the mental space of understanding why you're doing what you're doing. And we build your roadmap so you don't get lost.
Well, that's great. You're doing more than just the firearm itself. You know, for you, firearms training, as you've already said, I love it. It's the person. Tell me, what are some of the things coming up? Obviously, people can go to your website and connect into the thing. But what are some things coming up, and what are the things in the here and now that are going on you want people to know about?
Coming up in 2026, we're going to be hosting a couple of outstanding top-tier shooters. My buddy Chris Bean's going to be here from Tactical Advantage. My buddy Shane Kerwin's going to be here. We're going to do that kickoff 2026. We're going to do, it's going to be a 2-day class. It is going to cover the anatomy of the person, right? So to understand the importance of anatomy and how that works. We'll talk about ballistics, but we'll talk more importantly in day 2 about the medical side.
Okay. Nate, thanks so much for coming and being here, being a part of this. I want to thank everybody for coming and being here with us at Growing Gainesville. We're so grateful for the opportunity that you give us to just be here and sharing with you about what God's doing in our community, especially through Christian business owners like Nate here at Bear Arms Training. So if we can answer any other questions, put some comments down. We'll get it over to Nate. And if we can serve you in any other way, please let us know. Until then, you guys have a great time. Thanks again for joining us here at Growing Gainesville. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.